Guys, this is Kathy again, coming back. I told you, as promised, I promised that we would come back with a part 2 of the PK kids, getting their point of view. So today, I have with me my second born, which is Ariel.
Hi.
And so today, she's going to give us her opinion of growing up as a PK kid, and like I told my other daughter yesterday, just be real. And I know she will. She doesn't hold too much back. So let's just get started. All right. Ariel, tell us what it felt like, or what it feels like, since you're still in the house, what it feels like growing up as a PK kid. And you can also talk a little bit about the transitioning into your dad becoming a pastor versus him first being a minister in the church.
Okay. I feel like it's kind of, most people think it's just a weight on the pastor or the whoever's preaching or pastor. I feel like it's kind of like a weight on my shoulders sometimes. I feel like it's people expect you to be something that you're not, not saying that I'm not, the Christian girl, but I feel like people expect me to do certain things when I want to do other things. Like, sometimes you can't really do certain things that other kids will or
Like
could
what?
do. Like, I feel as though sometimes a lot of my peers are getting like nose piercings and different things and different piercings, and I want one, and I feel like the reason that y'all don't want to let me get it is more so because of that. Because a lot of my peers have tattoos, and then they have nose rings and different things, and sometimes like what I wear, it's it's different because some people are able to wear certain things when I'm not.
Okay, all right. Certain things like.
Uh, like, I guess I could say crop tops. Not that I necessarily want to wear them, but that's a big thing that a lot of people are wearing. Or like
Underneath the shirt, a see-through shirt. Oh, the crop top
like
with the
a
stomach
crop
out.
top. Like,
oh, okay.
yeah, not saying that
So basically, what you're saying is the things that your friends wear. Some of the things that your friends wear, you don't get a chance to wear it because you are a PK kid, and we look at things. Being in the church, we look at things a little differently from other raising other children. Not that other children are bad children or anything, or not that there's anything wrong with how you raise your child, but just being in the church and being a minister or a pastor, there's just a certain image that we have, and that is portrayed. And but I will say this before I ask the next question. I feel, in my defense, that growing up, my parents were not strict, but my mom, she was a church goer, and she was a very religious, devout Christian. She is a very religious, devout Christian, and she just didn't raise us wearing, a lot of different things that my friends wore, the short shorts and Daisy Duke shorts and just different things. So I think it carried over. So I feel like whether I was a pastor's wife, or your dad is a pastor or not, we would probably still have those same values. But you're saying you don't think so.
I feel like y'all would be a little bit more lenient
Okay.
if that were the case, because if I go out and people are just like, oh, I think that's Pastor Noble's daughter, blah blah blah, what's their church portraying? Is it this, certain stuff? So I feel like if y'all, or he wasn't called into pastoral ministry and stuff like that, I feel like it would be a little bit more lenient.
Okay. So do you feel like we care more about the image rather than the child? Honest opinion.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I do feel like that. Sometimes I feel like y'all are like more strict.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good. I accept that. And you also mentioned not only the clothes, but just a piercing. And what did your dad say about the piercing when you asked him about it?
He said not until like I'm out the house 21 or something like that. As long as I'm under his roof, then I won't be getting a piercing.
And you feel like that's unfair?
Yes, because a lot of other people have piercings and they're cute, and I feel like that's my style. But
okay, all right. And he also tried to give you a scripture to go with that,
oh
right?
yeah, he did. He gave me several scriptures to go with that.
And she actually had a scripture to come back at him.
Yeah, but
so.
that didn't go so well. So
okay. So what about going to different things like parties, or do you feel like that is a hindrance as far as being a PK kid?
Yes, I feel like I don't get to go as many places, especially not parties, because like I just feel like y'all just no to parties and stuff like that. And then I also feel like when trying to go out with my friends, I don't know if it's just y'all or PK kids, but I feel like y'all just, it's like I can only have so much fun. If I go over that level, then it's error in the system or something. I don't know.
Okay, well, I will say that it's not necessarily that you can't go out with your friends. I just have a rule, and your dad has a rule as far as making sure that we know who the parent is and making sure that we know who the friend is. That is my number one rule, and I have been giving her this rule since she was a little girl. I'm not going to let you go out whether I'm a pastor's wife or not. Whether your dad is a pastor or not, we're not going to let you go out if we don't know who the friend is, and we're not going to let you go to a party if we don't know who the adult is. There are certain things that we have to know, because it makes a parent more comfortable with knowing where you are, who you're with, just something about them. And I wish that all parents was like this, because and what did I tell you? The reason why I won't let you go somewhere with someone I don't know. Do you remember? If the police, if the police comes to my house, or if I have to call the police and say my daughter is missing, and they will say, well, who was she with? What's the last thing she had on? Who are the parents? Where do they live? And I don't know, then that makes me look bad as a mom. Not a pastor's wife. It makes me look bad as a mom. So I need to make sure that I know where you are and who you're with. That makes sense? Okay. So, also, I want to ask this very important question. How do you feel about overall being a PK kid? Do you like it, or do you just not like it? Have you ever liked it? And is the things that you mentioned earlier, are those the main reasons that you don't like it, if you don't? Or
overall, I would say me as a teenager right now, I don't really like it, but I do see that it has its pros and cons, because y'all are able to discern some things. I guess you can say y'all are able to discern, and when y'all tell me I don't think it's a good idea, I'm not getting a good feeling about it, I'm able to understand, okay, well, that's obviously God, saying, and probably, a parent's intuition, but it's probably God saying, something's not right about this situation and stuff like that. So I think that's a pro, because that's keeping me safe. But cons, not being able to do stuff that my other peers do, and just not feeling like I can enjoy my teenage years or childhood, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. But I have noticed, I mean, even with that, that you're feeling that we're too strict, so to speak, I beg to differ because you're still a popular girl, a popular teenager. She's on a varsity cheer team. She has a job, and I mean, she's very talented. She even did her own hair. You know, she can do it all. She's multi talented, and she has a lot of friends. She has a YouTube channel, and she just does a lot of things. And so, and the other students, the other kids, her friends, they just kind of take to her. They draw to her. She's very sociable. She's a social butterfly. So I don't see what the problem is because she has friends. She just wants to go out more, and I think as parent, we have to kind of keep that balance because if we let you go out too much, then what do you think could happen?
I may drift off and drift along.
She may drift off, and we worry about that. Just having a 16-year-old, we worry about that. Do you understand?
I understand.
We worry about that, and I understand that she may not want to be a PK kid right now, but hopefully one day she'll look back on it and it will also help her to maybe help keep her own children balanced. So before we go, is there any type of advice that you would like to give all those other teenagers out there who are PK kids? Is there something that you would like to, how can you advise them feeling the way you're feeling now?
I just want to say that just know that whatever they do is from the goodness of their heart, and they don't intend to not please you, I guess I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like they're doing it for the good, and they're doing it to keep you safe and to just, like, I'm trying to.
Well, don't say it to please me now.
No, I'm saying I'm
okay.
trying to, like, let me see how I want to word it. They have your best interest in mind at all times, and even if you don't like their decision that they make, or things that you can or cannot do, just know they have your best interest in mind at all times, and in the long run, hopefully it'll come out it'll come out good.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ari. I appreciate your honesty and sitting with me, chatting a little bit, and telling the viewers how you feel as a PK kid, the raw truth. That concludes our segment for today on PK kids and their point of view. And so we just want to say thank you for tuning in and have a blessed day. Thank you.